against the three individuals that viciously attacked Toronto mayoral candidate Kevin Clarke at the Daily Bread Food Bank yesterday. I will see if we can find a video, a copy of the video here. And you can see now they're saying uninvited guest, but Mr. Clarke isn't an invited guest. He's a mayoral candidate, and it's a mayoral candidate debate. You don't get to say, oh, we're going to have a debate, but you can't come. So we are going to play the video here, and we are going to show you why the assault charges should be laid. Let's see if we can get it here. I think it's just a picture. I don't see a video. Let's see if there's a video here. Nope, there's Joe Warmington. So let's try and see if we can find a video here. So here's the video here, and we are going to outline the assault for the OIPRD and the human rights. So this is, if you can look into here, you will see here. We're going to back up here so we can be clear. This is Mr. Clarke walking on stage. Not, as the media says, storming the stage. As you can see, we're going to look at this here with the sign language. You will see Mr. Clarke in the brown hat. Walk. That's not storm. He walked on stage. Now, as you can see there, Mr. Clarke is speaking. This is a debate for Toronto mayor. This is only 5 of the nearly 100 candidates for mayor. So are you saying that none of the other 90% is allowed to speak except for these individuals? That violates the Canadian Charter of Rights that says we're all equal under the Charter of Rights. So what would give these individuals exclusive rights over 95% of the field? These are 5 candidates. There's over 100. So this is 5% of the field, saying they have exclusive rights under the Canadian Charter of Rights to speak, and anyone else who speak. Now, we do not know. Watch the video here. We're going to enlarge it. Now, as you can see there, Mr. Clarke is in the center. He's got a cell phone in hand and a battery charger. So Mr. Clarke posed no physical threat to anyone. So there is the 4 candidates, 5. Mr. Clarke posed no physical threat. Now we're going to back up the tape just a bit. All right? And you can see there is, see, I'm just speaking. Now Mr. Clarke is there. This man behind Mr. Clarke stormed the stage. So let's back it up a bit, and you will see. Now Mr. Clarke's going to come in here, walking. Mr. Clarke has a degenerative back this loose in his back. Now, watch, Mr. Clarke is there. Now, this man stormed the stage. These are all mayoral candidates. This individual here is a foreign influence that does not belong. But yet, and all Mr. Clarke is doing is speaking. This individual stormed the stage, and watch here. And right there, he put his hands on Mr. Clarke. Now, is he a staff of the Daily Bread Food Bank? Is he just a private individual? Are you saying that citizens can interpret whatever they want to interpret and go and put their hands on people physically? As you can see, Mr. Clarke is a mayoral candidate with all these others. And this individual, Mr. Clarke is there speaking. Now, this is supposed to be after the debate was scheduled to end, which was 8:30. This is 8:45 p.m. This individual here stormed the stage and look, put his hands on Mr. Clarke. What makes this a criminal act is that officers from the Toronto Police Service are present. Are you taking away the law enforcement authority and putting it to this individual here? If this individual felt that Mr. Clarke was doing something inappropriate, this individual is required by law to go to the police officer and says, here, this is the rules, this is the law, whatever. He is here. If he doesn't want Mr. Clarke there, he's required by law to say, Mr. Clarke, we do not want you here, and we ask you to leave. That is a law on the private property. There's no law that says if you don't like something or you don't like someone, you don't like what they're saying, you can physically look here. Let's start again. Here, look, that is assault. That is the first person who committed assault. Now, the second assault. Now, Mr. Clarke as a degenerative back disc. Mr. Clarke nearly was shoved down the stairs by this vigilante. Vigilante. But he's a vigilante when there's no criminal act being committed. This is a mayoral candidate being shoved off because 5% says they have greater rights than the other 95%. And this individual, we expect the Toronto police to lay criminal charges for assault because this video showed the assault. Now watch further. Ready to show Mr. Clarke. These guys' hands now. Watch this other individual here. This other individual right here who looked to drag Mr. Clarke down. So this individual and this individual must be identified and be charged with assault. Now, let's back up here just a bit. Let's back up. All right.
For what? Reckless endangerment. Obstruction of justice. It's just a game.
Sorry about the buffer. All figures of a buffer, but we all, when it comes to justice, we must be patient. All right, so we'll minimize it. But you get the idea. Both these individuals, there were three of them, and all three of them must be charged with assault according to the laws of Canada. And we are asking to see if we can get a buffer. If not, we will identify these individuals, and we ask the police to do file assault charges so the video don't lie. But we don't know why the buffer is there. And that's basically it. God is with us.